while at the same time being the ones responsible for creating the formula?
That's the catch-22 the source highlights. Using its own inaction as a defense, we can't follow the law because we never completed the paperwork needed to follow the law.
That seems an incredibly fragile argument. Surely that falls apart under any real scrutiny.
That's what the retirees are betting on for tomorrow's hearing. And this all links to a deeper legal point about what these banks actually are.
Right, these aren't just private shops, they're public sector banks.
Which means under Article 12 of the Indian Constitution, they are considered the state.
A state. And that carries a much heavier burden.
It does. It means they can't act arbitrarily or discriminate. Their pension regulations are statutory obligations, not just internal policy.
This reminds me of that legal concept, deferred wages. I've seen the Supreme Court use that term a lot.
It's the cornerstone of pension law in India. The court has consistently said a pension is not a bounty. It's not a gift from your employer. It's deferred wage.
So if it's money I've already earned, my old employer can't just turn around later and say, actually, it's inconvenient for us to pay you the full amount.
Exactly. And just 2 weeks ago, on February 5th, 2026, the Supreme Court made an observation in this very case that has retirees extremely optimistic.
The court cut through the noise and essentially signaled if the provision for updation exists in the regulations, the banks must pay.
It doesn't matter if it's inconvenient. If the text is in the book, the debate is over.
Sounds like the court is losing patience with the no provision argument.
It certainly seems that way. The source document feels very validated by that. It shifts the entire burden from should we pay to why haven't you paid?
Let's talk about the human side of this. Lack of updation over the decades created real hardship.
It's a widening injustice. It creates a class system among seniors. A 75-year-old who helped build the bank in the 80s and 90s is now struggling to cover medical bills.
And the older you get, the bigger that gap becomes.
Exactly. Each missed wage settlement widens the gap. This violates Article 14. You can't treat equals unequally just because they retired on different dates.
Okay, I'm gonna put on my CFO hat for a minute.
Go for it.
The banks are businesses, they have shareholders. The argument is always, we can't afford it.
That is the nuclear option defense banks always pull out. But our source comes prepared with the numbers. They've done the math.
What's the price tag?
According to their note, the approximate annual cost for updation, including the giant SBI, is around 3.28 lakh crores.
328 lakh crores. Now, to you and me, that's a lot of money.
But in the context of the entire Indian banking sector, isn't that kind of a rounding error?
It is because banks routinely write off bad loans and NPAs that are triple this amount for a single corporate defaulter.